The first thing I saw was dust. A cloud of it, rising gold against the sunrise, moving toward our village in a way that made no sense. Elephants don't come to villages. Not like this. Not alone. But then, I saw her. A mother elephant, limping badly, blood dried black against her gray skin. And beside her, a baby, collapsed, not moving. She had walked 60 miles through poacher territory, through pain I cannot imagine, carrying her dying calf to the only place she thought might help, a village full of humans. And somehow, she was right.
My name is James Okonkwo. I've been a wildlife veterinarian in the Amboseli region of Kenya for 18 years. I run a small clinic on the edge of Maasai land, where the savanna meets the foothills of Kilimanjaro. It's not much, a concrete building with a tin roof, some medical supplies, a generator that works most days. But out here, it's everything. The year was 2019, and the poaching crisis had reached a point I had never seen before. Every week we found carcasses, elephants with their faces cut off, tusks gone, families destroyed. The rangers did what they could. The government promised action. But the killers had money, weapons, and no souls. I had stopped sleeping well. Every time my phone rang at night, I expected the worst. But nothing prepared me for that morning in August. I was checking supplies when my assistant, Joseph, burst through the door. "Doctor, you need to see this. Now." His face told me everything his words couldn't. I stepped outside and froze. At the edge of our compound, maybe 30 meters away, stood the largest elephant I had seen in years. A matriarch. Old, powerful, and broken. Her left shoulder was a mess of dried blood and torn flesh. A bullet wound, maybe two. She was favoring her right side, swaying slightly with each breath. But it wasn't her wounds that stopped my heart. It was the baby at her feet. A calf, maybe 8 months old, lying motionless in the red dust. His front leg was wrapped in something metallic, a poacher's snare, cutting so deep I could see bone. The mother stood over him, trunk gently touching his face, making a sound I will never forget. It wasn't a trumpet. It wasn't a roar. It was a moan. Low, rumbling, endless. The sound of a mother watching her child die. The villagers had gathered behind me. I could hear their whispers. "She's dangerous. We should call the rangers. Don't go near her." They were right, of course. A wounded elephant protecting her calf is one of the most dangerous situations on Earth. One wrong move, and she could kill me in seconds. But then, she looked at me. Not through me, not past me, at me. And in that moment, I understood something that changed everything I thought I knew about these animals. She wasn't here to threaten us. She was here to ask for help. I took a step forward, then another. Behind me, Joseph grabbed my arm. "James, don't!" I shook him off gently. "Get my bag, the large one, and call everyone. We're going to need help." The mother watched me approach. Her ears flared once, a warning. But she didn't charge. She didn't retreat. She waited. When I was close enough to touch the calf, I knelt slowly in the dust. I could feel the heat radiating from his small body. Fever, infection. He didn't have long. I looked up at her, this massive creature, wounded and exhausted, who had carried her dying baby across 60 miles of hostile territory. "I'm going to help him," I said softly. "I promise." She lowered her trunk and touched my shoulder. Gently, deliberately. In 18 years of working with elephants, I had never experienced anything like it. It wasn't submission. It wasn't threat. It was trust. Later, when we pieced together what had happened, the story broke our hearts all over again. The rangers found the site 12 days later, following the trail of blood she had left behind. The herd had been ambushed at night near a watering hole in the northern corridor. At least 8 poachers, armed with automatic rifles and machetes. They came for ivory. The matriarch of the herd, Amara's own mother, was killed first, shot in the head to stop the alarm call. 2 other adults fell within seconds. Then, chaos. In the darkness, the family scattered. Amara ran with her calf, Kito, pressed against her side. But the poachers had set traps along the escape routes, wire snares designed to catch anything that fled. Kito stepped into one. The wire closed around his front leg like a fist. He screamed, that high, desperate cry that baby elephants make when they're terrified. Amara tried to pull him free, but the wire only cut deeper. More shots rang out. A bullet tore through her shoulder. She had seconds to decide. Stay and fight, and watch her baby be killed in front of her. Or run, and try to save what she could. With a strength that defied her wounds, she wrapped her trunk around Kito's body and lifted him. The wire ripped free from its anchor, still embedded in his leg. And she ran. Through the darkness, through the pain, through territory where every shadow could hide a killer. For 3 days she walked. 60 miles across the savannah, bleeding, starving, carrying a calf that grew weaker with every hour. She passed 2 ranger stations, 2 villages with armed guards. She didn't stop. Because somehow, through instinct, through memory, through something we don't have a name for, she knew exactly where she was going. Years before, when she was young, Amara had been treated at our clinic for a minor injury. A thorn abscess, nothing serious. But she remembered. She remembered the place where humans had helped instead of hurt. And in her darkest hour, she came back. The next 6 hours were the longest of my life. We couldn't move Kito. Any stress could kill him. So we operated right there, in the dust, under the Afrikaansun, with his mother standing 3 meters away. The entire village came to help. Women brought water, bucket after bucket, to keep us cool and to clean the wound. Men built a makeshift shade structure from tarps and branches. Children ran messages, fetched supplies, kept watch. And Amara never moved. She watched everything. Every instrument I picked up, every cut I made, every time Kito flinched or cried out. I kept waiting for her to charge, to decide I was hurting him and end me with a single blow. But she didn't. At one point, the surgery hit a critical moment. The wire had cut so deep that it had damaged the artery. Blood began to pump faster than I could control it. "I'm losing him," I said to Joseph. "I need clamps, more gauze, now." Kito's breathing became shallow. His eyes started to glaze. And then Amara did something that still haunts me. She stepped forward, slowly, carefully, and lowered her trunk to her baby's face. She breathed on him, slowly, rhythmically, the way elephant mothers do when they're comforting their young. I don't know if it was coincidence. I don't know if it was something more. But in that moment, Kito's heart rate stabilized. His eyes focused. He came back. I clamped the artery, stopped the bleeding, closed the wound. 4 hours later, it was over. Kito was alive. Barely, but alive. And Amara, finally, lay down beside him. But we weren't done. Her wounds needed treatment too. The bullet was still in her shoulder,
the infection spreading. I approached her carefully, syringe in hand. "I need to help you now," I said. "This will hurt, but I need you to trust me." She looked at me with those ancient eyes that had seen her mother killed, her family slaughtered, her baby nearly die. And she extended her leg toward me, giving me access to the wound. I worked on her for another 2 hours, removed the bullet fragments, cleaned the infection, applied antibiotics. She never flinched. The days that followed became something none of us expected. Amara and Kito didn't leave. They stayed at the edge of our compound, in a grove of acacia trees that offered shade and safety. Close enough to see us, far enough to feel wild. Every morning, the village children would bring them food, branches, fruits, whatever they could gather. At first, Amara was cautious, but within a week, she was taking mangoes directly from their hands. The women started calling her Mama Mkubwa, Big Mother. The men called Kito Mwana wa Kijiji, Child of the Village. For 3 weeks, they were part of our community. I checked on Kito every day, changed his bandages, monitored the healing. He went from barely lifting his head to standing to taking his first limping steps. I remember the morning he walked on his own for the first time. It was clumsy, painful. He stumbled twice. But when he reached his mother, she wrapped her trunk around him and made that low rumbling sound that elephants make when they're content. The village erupted in cheers. People were crying. Children were jumping. And I realized this wasn't just about saving an elephant anymore. This was about something bigger, something that connected all of us, human and animal alike. Amara healed too. Her shoulders scarred badly, but the infection cleared. She would always limp slightly, a permanent reminder of what she had survived. But she was alive. Her baby was alive. And for the first time in months, I felt something I had almost forgotten. Hope. On the 23rd day, I knew it was time. Kito was strong enough to travel. Amara had been staring toward the horizon more and more, the direction where elephants migrate, where her family's memory pulled her. They needed to return to the wild, to find a new herd, to live the life they were meant to live. But saying goodbye was harder than I expected. The whole village gathered that morning. We didn't plan it. People just came. Farmers who had given them food, children who had named them, elders who had watched over them at night. Amara stood at the edge of the compound, Kito pressed against her side. She looked at us, all of us, for a long moment. Then, she walked toward me. I didn't move. I couldn't. She stopped inches away, close enough that I could see every wrinkle, every scar, every year of her life written on her skin. And then she did something that elephants only do with those they trust completely. She placed her trunk on my chest, right over my heart. And she held it there, feeling my heartbeat, the way elephants greet their own family. I put my hand on her trunk. "Thank you," I whispered, "for trusting us." She rumbled softly. Then she turned, nudged Kito forward, and began to walk. Slowly at first, then faster. At the top of the hill, she stopped one last time. She turned her massive head and looked back at the village that had saved her son. And then, she raised her trunk high into the air. A salute, a farewell, a promise. Then, she disappeared over the ridge into the golden light of the savannah. That was 5 years ago.
Life continued. The clinic grew. The poaching decreased. Not enough, but some. I treated hundreds of animals, saved some, lost others. But I never forgot Amara. And apparently, she never forgot me. Last September, I woke before dawn to a sound I hadn't heard in years. Elephant calls, many of them, coming from the direction of our compound. I ran outside, heart pounding, not knowing what to expect. And I saw them. 12 elephants, a full herd, standing in the same spot where Amara had collapsed 5 years before. At the front was a massive female with a scar on her left shoulder. Amara. Beside her stood a young bull, tall and strong, with a distinctive mark on his front leg where the wire had once cut to the bone. Kito. And next to Kito, pressed against his side, was a tiny calf, weeks old, wobbly on its legs. His baby, Amara's grandchild. The village woke up. People poured out of their homes. The children, some of them the same ones who had fed Amara mangoes 5 years ago, now teenagers, ran toward the compound. But the herd didn't run. They didn't charge. They waited. I walked toward them slowly, just as I had done that first morning. My legs were shaking. My eyes were blurring. Amara watched me approach. The years had aged her. More scars, more gray. But those eyes were exactly the same. When I was close enough, she reached out her trunk and placed it on my chest, right over my heart. Just like before. But this time, she wasn't asking for help. She was saying thank you. She was showing me what my help had made possible. A family, a future, a legacy. One by one, the other elephants approached. Kito touched my shoulder with his trunk. His baby, curious and unafraid, sniffed at my hands. For 20 minutes we stood together, human and elephant. 2 species, 1 moment. Then Amara rumbled a low call, and the herd began to move. They walked past the compound, past the village, toward the distant slopes of Kilimanjaro. And this time, I didn't feel sadness. Only gratitude. People say elephants never forget. But I've learned it's more than that. They don't just remember facts or places. They remember kindness. They remember who hurt them and who healed them. They remember who took and who gave. Amara walked 60 miles through hell to find help for her baby. And 5 years later, she walked back to say thank you. That's not instinct. That's not survival. That's love. And it reminds me every single day why this work matters. Why every life matters. Because in the end, we're not so different after all. No one survives alone. If this story moved you, please take a second to like and subscribe. Every new subscriber helps us share more incredible stories of survival, connection, and the unbreakable bond between humans and wildlife. And I want to know, have you ever witnessed an unexpected act of trust from a wild animal? Share your story in the comments. The wild is watching. Let's make sure we're worthy of that trust.